Hey, 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 and welcome to Remote Books Podcast, where we turn money talk into something fun, clear, and super actionable. I'm your host, Lynette, and today we're diving into one of the most important, most avoided parts of personal and business finance, which is tracking your income and expenses. Now, why does it matter? Because if you don't know where your money is going, it's really hard to track and tell where it goes. But don't worry, me and my co host here got you covered. So I'm not doing this alone. I'm joined by two amazing people from our remote books team. First up, our fearless and CEO, the guy who turns spreadsheets into strategy. We have here Andrew.
Hi, Lynette. Welcome back to
Hi.
our show.
All right. And next up, you know her, you love her, our amazing accounting assistant, the queen of organization and all things detail itself. We have Bella.
Hi everyone, nice seeing you in our podcast right now.
All right. So that was a warm welcome from my co-host there. So whether you're a freelancer, business owner, or just someone who wants to stop wondering where your paycheck went, this episode is for you. Now let's jump right in. So Bella, let's kick this off. Can you differentiate income versus expenses? And why do you think tracking them are really important?
Okay, yes, well, to keep it simple, income is the money that comes into your business. It is the money that you earn from selling your products or services. And while expense are the costs or the money that you are that are going out of your business, or like the cost you pay to run your business. So it's the simple difference between income and expenses. And then for the question why tracking them are very crucial, because without tracking them you will basically flying blind maybe, because you won't know if you're making a profit, and also you can't confidently make decisions, and when the tax time comes it will become a nightmare. And let me share a quick example. Like, for example, um, there's this friend of mine who runs a small food stall, and she was selling like crazy, but somehow she felt like she was always broke. And then when we track her income and expenses for just 1 month, and it turned out that her delivery costs were eating up almost 20% of her profit. And then from that we create solution to switch the careers, and from that she can save thousands. So this is example of how powerful tracking is. Okay, that's from
All
me.
right. Yeah, it seems like your friends blindfolded with their bank accounts are on fire, right? So that's a horror story. Thanks for sharing it. How about you, Andrew? Have you seen any small or medium business owners who have the same horror stories for not tracking things properly?
I have an amazing story and experience working for one of our clients a long time ago. We don't have that clients anymore, but I still remember that wonderful experience. They are co-owned. There are two shareholders. One director. He is really knowledgeable about accounting and finance. He knows about accounts payable and accounts receivable, but his partner doesn't have enough idea what about those things. So she is completely relying on bank balance. Oh, this she saw a lot of money in the bank balance, and then they decided, why don't we just decide to take out dividends? Because I see a lot of money in our bank account. And her partner said, "Oh, what do you mean taking out money as dividend? And our accounting is not yet ready." And she keeps asking, "What do you mean it's not ready? "Oh, I see lots of money in our bank balance." So what she believes that as long as she can see lots of money in the bank, it means everything is her money. It's not the case like that. Just because she didn't record proper expenses and proper accounts payable, which needs to be paid to the supplier or vendor, and after recording income and expenses, everything, then you can decide how much money left in your bank account. having money in my bank account doesn't mean everything is mine. Just because I have received income from my customer in advance and to be paid for my supplier later on, it doesn't mean I have all the money for myself, because I have to pay for my team, for employees, for contractors, for suppliers. After that, you see how much money left, and then from that you will distribute as a dividends. And then she was, wow, like that? Accounting is like that? Yes, accounting is like that. You have to record everything first, categorize all the income, categorize all the proper expenses, as per the nature of the transaction, and then you get to see how much left for your portion. So don't get excited as long as you see lots of money in your bank just because you have received from your clients in advance. So you might owe a lot of money, but you won't understand unless you record everything. So it's very, very important. You bring up the topic today. I'm really happy to get such an important. Maybe it seems very simple, but it's really important. Like categorizing income and expenses and determining them, where your money is going. It's really, really important. Yeah.
All right. So that's the moral of the story. Not every money or cent, dollars that you see on your bank account is yours. So everything needs to be tracked so you know what's the exact amount that you have on your pocket. So
Yeah.
those are the nice stories that you shared. You too. Thanks. Thanks. Now let's try to break it down for our listeners. What exactly should they be tracking?
Well, I should say that first, of course, your income. Like what I said before, the income is the sales from your products or services. And then the second important too, which is your expenses. And for these expenses, you can also categorize them into maybe ingredients expenses, materials expenses, marketing expenses, also delivering costs maybe, and also salary expense too. Okay, that's
All
for
right.
me.
Yeah, thank you for sharing about expenses. So I've heard that there's this fixed and variable expenses. Now, what's the difference between the two of them, Andrew? Can you give also a
Yeah,
short sample?
fixed expense is just like our monthly retainers, like rent could be salary, the electricity. Electricity falls under variable and fixed both, but you can say it fixed just because we need to pay it every month. Like that kind of stuff. Rent, sub salary, that kind of stuff falls under the fixed cost, and the variable is just repair, maintenance, and any other operating expenses that is not recurring. So those are variable expenses. So yeah, and it's important for a business to understand how much the fixed costs every month they have, just to determine how much money they can make, right? So variable cost depends on, okay, if I get more projects, I can bring more external consultants, things and stuff temporarily, and then I can, my revenue will go up at the same time my expense will go up. That's fine. But I really need to determine what is my fixed cost. So that's really important to understand that line of variable cost and fixed cost as well.
All right, so it seems like fixed costs are same every month. It's the
Yeah.
same amount that they're paying every month, while for variables, it's the ones that change.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thanks for putting it simply like that. Now, what about the tools? Do they need fancy software so that they can start tracking?
I don't say no. It doesn't really require. If you are good in Excel, you can track everything in Excel file. And I would suggest to still use an accounting software. There are so many free accounting software in the market. You can still use them. As long as your business expenditure and income are pretty simple. But once it gets complicated, definitely you need to get a help from a good accounting software to simplify the whole accounting process.
All right, that's good. So now that they know what to track, and you say that, okay, there's no need for softwares right away, how can they do it consistently? Do you guys have any tips or tricks for our listeners?
I can say on that, yeah, I would say if anyone wants to reach out to us, if you guys have any templates, definitely we would be happy to share one templates how you how they can maintain the income and expenditure for their business, small business, I would say. So yeah, there are there are tons of templates as well on Google, or you just go there and find the templates. But you need to know how to use them, and I would offer the same thing like, hey guys, if you need anything, feel free to comments below. So we would be happy to share one of the templates with the instruction, which might help your life easier to not only save time, time means money as well. So yeah.
So yeah, it's easy to start when there is already a structure. Good. Thank you, Andrew, for offering to share it with our listeners. So again, for anyone who wants to get a copy of those templates, you can comment down below so that we can share it with you. Now, when it comes to tracking, of course, expenses, every time I spend something, there's a receipt. Do we need to keep them all?
Yes, you should really need to keep all your expenses, like your the invoices, the expenses invoices. It's really important for you to keep them so that you could record them later on. Because as we have said before, tracking your expense is the same important with tracking your income. So
Mhm.
that's why you should really save every one of your invoice expenses. And maybe next, after you have already record your expand invoices, you could also reconcile it, because you must reconcile between your bank statement to make sure that nothing is missing. And then finally, you could set a routine so that you don't miss out the day when you should be recording your expenses, tracking your expenses or income. Like maybe just set a routine, maybe block like every Monday to be like Finance Monday, Bookkeeping Monday, yeah, something
Yeah,
like that. Should
that's a
really
good
help.
idea.
Yeah, because I think that's where most people fell off. Like they lose track, they fail to reconcile and check things out. So yeah, that's a good suggestion that they can do weekly check-ins, right? Just to see if everything's in place. Hey, that's a good suggestion. All right, now let's time for don't do this list. So what are the common mistakes that you guys see for those folks who are tracking or recording their incomes and expenses?
Let me start on that. Don't do this is number one. Don't mix your personal expense with a business expense. You always maintain it separately, and don't make it too delayed. Like, okay, so some people think, okay, I'll do it tomorrow, next week, and next month, but it never happens. It's never happening. So try to block certain time, like maybe 30 minutes a week and one hour a month. That might be enough for your small businesses. But if you keep delaying that, it will always be delayed. So try to capture everything as much as possible. Receipts is very important. Invoice and bills are very important, where you can see how much money you're paying for services. And then taxes definitely apply to that, like VAT. In some other countries, in North America, we call it sales tax. So where you can properly categorize them in your system. Yeah, so be very careful, don't mix up, but as much as you're organized, like everyone needs to be organized in your life. Same thing with the business accounting too, with the personal accounting. So if you are really ignoring that part, then business will ignore you too, and maybe it is a hefty price at the end of the year. So better not to do it just by allotting 1 hour a week or 2 hours a month. Maybe that's enough.
All right, thanks, Andrew. How about you, Bella?
Yes, and I agree with Andrew comments with the don't mix your personal and business money. And well, an addition for me is to not, please don't procrastinate when you want to record your income or expenses. As I've said before, maybe you could just 1 week I'm sorry, just one day per week, like you said it, to become a bookkeeping Monday, finance Monday, recording Monday, yeah, something like that. Or you want to make it on Friday, it's good too. Or if maybe you are too busy managing your business strategy or having many meetings with clients, you could also hire a bookkeeper to help you on the books. So
And we are
at
here
the end of
too
the
to
month,
help.
yes, and of course we are here to help too. So at the end of the month, we could just hold a meeting and then present you about your monthly finance conditions. Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys. So it seems like number one offender: don't mix business with personal accounts. Keep them separate because it's gonna get messy. And if you're not ready to fix that, hello, we're here. Remote Books is here to help you guys. Just comment down below, and we'll help you fix things. If you feel like you're a procrastinator, you can set up a habit of tracking these things. Maybe you can also reach out to us. We can give you some tips. We can help you out on your weekly tracking, monthly, or whatsoever. So we can always find ways. You can always hire a professional if you find this thing stressing. Because at the end of the day, what's important is you have a peace of mind. Aren't we all looking for that when we build a business? We're not making a business just so we can stress ourselves. We opened up a business so that we can have a peaceful life. So don't make it hard for you guys. So tracking, it will really help you in the end. But again, if you think it's something that you can't do on your end, there's professional like Remote Books who can help you out with that. Okay, so just a recap real quick for what we talked about. First, track every dollar in and out. Everything that comes in, you track it. Everything that comes out, you track it. And then try to use simple systems. So Andrew mentioned that you don't need fancy software to start with. Just start with a simple spreadsheet that would work. And then never ever mix personal with business. Okay, you know where it goes. It doesn't go well. And then set up a routine as Bella highlighted. It could be a weekly or a monthly check-in. Just make a habit of recording. And then always not be afraid to ask for help. So there are always professionals who can help you guys. And now, any final advice, guys, for our small biz heroes here?
Let me say something.
Mm-hmm.
Advice is, when you start a business, definitely there will be a lot of stress, a lot of strategies, you will be a lot of wearing a lot of hats. So marketing, design, advertising, accounting, finance, budgets, and customer acquisition. Like as a small business owner, you have to go through a lot of issues. But I would say in accounting and finance is very important too. You make it as a priority as well. Otherwise, you will keep earning in one hand, and on the other hand, or your money will keep drying. So you will lose motivation to run a business, and you might be ended up with a lot of debts at the end of the day, which is not good. So the purpose of running a business is to make money, to create more better impacts, and to help many people. So in order to do that, accounting and finance is really important. Try to make it as a priority. Just maybe once a week. That should be enough. But don't ignore it at all time. And all the best.
All right. So thank you so much. You don't need to be perfect. Just be consistent.
Yes.
Thanks, Andrew. How about you, Bella? Any tips and advice for our listeners?
Yes, well, you guys should remember that you don't need to be perfect, just be consistent, progress over perfection always. And also, don't wait to become a big business before you start tracking your money, because the habits that you build now consistently, even when your income is still small or inconsistent, are the same habits that will support your business growth later on, and you won't regret it.
All right, you start small. You don't have to wait until you get bigger because the bigger your companies are, the bigger problems you will have. So why not start it while you are still small and make a habit? That's right. So thanks guys, and thanks listeners for hanging with us today. So if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow, subscribe, and drop us a comment down below for the next topics or questions that you may have regarding accounting, tax preparation, or anything under the sun. We're here to talk about it. So again, I'm your host Lynette, and I have here my co-hosts Andrew and Bella. We're saying goodbye to you now. Thank you guys today.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. See you again.